This story is not just a story, it is a quiet reminder, a reflection, a wake-up call. If you have ever felt lost, stuck, or unsure whether your life is moving in the right direction, then this story is for you. Take a deep breath, listen slowly, and let every word sink in. Don't waste your life. There was a time in Daniel's life when every morning felt exactly the same, as if the sun rose, not to bring hope, but to remind him that another day would pass without meaning, without progress, without anything worth remembering. He would wake up late, scroll endlessly through his phone, watching other people live lives that seemed exciting and purposeful, while he remained trapped in a cycle of delay, distraction, and quiet disappointment. At first, he told himself it was normal, that everyone needed time to figure things out, that he was still young and had plenty of time ahead of him. But deep inside, there was a voice, soft, persistent, and uncomfortable, that kept whispering the same question every night. What are you doing with your life? And every night he ignored it. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, and before Daniel realized it, a year had passed, leaving behind nothing but unfinished plans, broken promises to himself, and a growing sense of regret that he tried desperately to hide. He had dreams once, big ones, dreams of building something meaningful, of becoming someone his family could be proud of waking up every morning with energy and purpose instead of exhaustion and avoidance. But dreams, he learned the hard way, do not disappear all at once. They fade slowly, quietly, almost politely, until one day you realize they are gone. One afternoon, while sitting alone in a small cafe, Daniel noticed an old man at the corner table, quietly sipping his coffee while staring out the window, and there was something unusual about him. Not his appearance, but the stillness, the presence, the way he seemed completely at peace with himself. For reasons Daniel could not explain, he felt drawn to him. After a few minutes of hesitation, he stood up, walked over, and asked, "Excuse me, sir, can I sit here for a moment?" The old man smiled gently and nodded. Daniel sat down, unsure of what to say, but eventually the words came out, almost as if they had been waiting for this exact moment. "Do you ever feel like you're wasting your life?" The old man looked at him carefully, not with judgment, but with understanding, as if he had heard this question many times before. "Yes," he said softly. "I used to feel that way every single day." Daniel leaned forward slightly, his curiosity growing. What changed? The old man took a slow sip of his coffee, then said something Daniel would never forget. "I realized that wasting your life is not something that happens suddenly. It happens in small choices, repeated every day." Daniel frowned. "What do you mean?" The old man smiled again, this time with a hint of sadness. "It means you don't wake up one day and decide to ruin your life. You ruin it by choosing comfort over growth, distraction over discipline, and excuses over action, again and again, until those choices become your identity." Daniel felt a chill run through him, because deep down, he knew it was true. The old man continued, "You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You tell yourself you're not ready yet. You tell yourself you need more time. But time is the one thing you're losing every second." Daniel looked down at his hands. "So, how do you stop wasting it?" The old man leaned back in his chair and looked out the window again, as if searching for the right words. "You start by telling yourself the truth." Daniel looked up. "The truth?" "Yes," the old man said firmly. "The truth that no one is coming to save you. The truth that your life is your responsibility. And the truth that every day you wait is a day you'll never get back." There was silence between them, but it wasn't uncomfortable. It was heavy, real. For the first time in a long time, Daniel felt something shift inside him. Not motivation, not excitement, but clarity. The old man stood up slowly, placed some money on the table, and prepared to leave. Before he walked away, he turned back and said one final thing. "Don't wait for your life to begin. It already has." And then he was gone. That night, Daniel couldn't sleep. The words kept replaying in his mind, louder and louder, until ignoring them was no longer an option. He realized something painful but powerful. He had been waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for motivation. But life doesn't wait. The next morning, something was different. There was no dramatic transformation, no sudden burst of energy, no magical clarity, but there was a decision, a small one. He got out of bed early. That was it. It didn't feel like much, but it was the first time in a long time that he had chosen action over comfort. That day, he made another small decision. He turned off his phone and focused on one task, then another, then another. Days passed and the changes were almost invisible, but they were real. He started waking up earlier. He started exercising. He started working on his goals, even when he didn't feel like it, especially when he didn't feel like it. And slowly, something incredible began to happen. His life started to move. Not fast, not perfectly, but forward. Months later, Daniel returned to the same cafe, hoping to see the old man again, but he was nowhere to be found. Still, Daniel smiled, because he realized something important. He didn't need the old man anymore. The voice that once questioned him every night had changed. It no longer asked, "What are you doing with your life?" Now it said something different. "Keep going." And for the first time, Daniel listened. Life is not wasted in a single moment. It is wasted in the quiet decisions you make every day. Or it is built in those same decisions. So choose carefully, because one day you will look back, not at what you intended to do, not at what you dreamed of doing, but at what you actually did. And that will be your life.